I am going to be talking for 5 days this week about the 5 lifestyle hacks for menopause and for weight loss. So that's where we're going to be heading this week. I'm really excited about this because I just love sharing my knowledge about this with women, because I realize there's just so much out there that most women don't know. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what's happening to them. And so if you have a better understanding of what's going on, you can make some changes, make some adjustments, or at least get a better understanding of what's happening, so that you can live your best life and feel your best as you age. Because just because you're going through menopause doesn't mean that you have to completely fall apart. Doesn't mean that you have to feel awful for the rest of your life, because you have a lot of life to live, and I want that to be a good, healthy, and happy life. So, I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you are here, say hello in the comments, or if you're watching in the replay, #replay. So my goal through this week is to share with you things that you may not know what is going on when you're going through menopause, whether it's perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopausal. And it may be why you're feeling frustrated with your weight loss efforts. Like, you're trying all the things and nothing's happening, right? It's not only just about the weight loss, but really we want to feel good in our bodies in general, right? I think that's so important as we age, to just feel good in our body, to have energy, to feel alive, to get sleep. Like, while I know the weight loss it matters to so many of us, but when you feel good in your body, everything else is going to be so much better. So it's super important to focus on that as well. And that's kind of what I'm going to touch base with throughout this whole week, so that you figure there's all these different lifestyle pieces that need to fit into this, so that you can feel your best, but also start to lose that weight. Each day I'm going to be educating you on exactly what is going on with your hormones and how it's affecting your weight loss efforts. Then I'm going to share some quick takeaways so that you can start doing things today and implementing them. And within a couple days, you should feel better already. And you're going to finally see that scale move. So today is day 1 of the 5 lifestyle hacks for menopause and weight loss. Today we're talking about nutrition, something that is very important, and how it's going to fuel your fire to break through that weight loss resistance. So we're going to talk about why it's harder to lose weight in menopause. First, we're going to address your metabolism, which in short is what helps you to burn body fat. That's what your metabolism is. When I talk to my clients, I talk about it as your metabolism is your body's ability to burn fat. So it's like your engine, your motor for your body. And what it does is it helps you to burn body fat. Have you ever heard of the term BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate? This is the rate at which your body burns calories at rest, when you're doing nothing. So as you go through perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen is declining, along with other hormones. And your BMR starts to drop, meaning that you are going to burn fewer calories overall, whether you are working out or whether you're doing absolutely nothing. But your body's ability to burn more calories is slowing down as you age. And estrogen, which is one of the hormones that helps to build and maintain muscle mass, contributes significantly to your BMR. So when your estrogen decreases, so does your muscle mass, which in turn reduces the amount of calories that your body burns, making it even harder to lose weight. So this estrogen thing that we got going on, it's gonna start dropping. It's gonna affect our body's ability to burn body fat. It's gonna affect our body's ability to maintain muscle mass. It's also responsible for your fat distribution. So as your estrogen is declining and dropping, your body fat tends to accumulate more around your abdomen, which is why most women start talking about that menopause belly, right? And then add in, so these are all the reasons, we're adding up all the reasons why you're struggling to lose weight. This is the blood sugar part. So your estrogen also helps to regulate your insulin, which controls your blood sugar. As your estrogen declines, you become more insulin resistant, which makes you crave more sugar and more carbohydrate-rich foods. But these are the things that are keeping you from feeling your best and from dropping weight. Your estrogen regulates your insulin, so which controls your blood sugar levels. We don't want our blood sugar levels to be going like this, and we don't want them very high. We want them nice and even throughout the day. They may go up in a little bit, but we want to keep them for the most part even. And your declining estrogen is going to increase your insulin resistance, leading to cravings for these foods like the sugar, the carbohydrate rich foods like pasta, bread. This means that those things that you love, because I hear it so often, the bread that you love, the pasta, the cookies, the cake, the bagels, the sugary drinks, your body does not love them, even though you do. And while you may have been able to get by with eating those things in your 20s and 30s, your 40s and beyond are going to be a completely different story, unfortunately. Now, I'm not saying that you can never have them, right? But you are going to want to limit them, and there is a specific way that you can eat them so that they do not store on your body as fat, because that's the most important thing. Like, we want to use those carbohydrates for energy, for fuel, but not to store in our body as fat, because that's already happening on its own just because of the declining estrogen levels. So just a quick recap here. As you reach your perimenopause or menopausal years, your body's calorie burning effects slows down. You lose more muscle. You become more resistant to burning starchy carbs. So your body's not going to burn them like they did as effectively as they used to. And all of this means that you're going to have a harder time losing weight. What do most of us want to do? Okay, I'm going to cut down on all my calories. That's the number one thing that you need to not do. And the reason I say that is 9 out of 10 women that I work with are eating way too little, which has stalled their metabolism, their fat burning ability, right? We want that engine running. We want our metabolism running because then it's going to burn body fat. When it slows down, it's barely doing anything. It's not going to burn any body fat. When your body does not have fuel, when you are not consuming enough food, your engine is going to slow down and you're not going to burn the body fat off. So what you may need to do instead is you may need to eat more calories so that your body doesn't think that you're starving it. And what you want to do is do it in a way that's going to have balanced macros, so balanced protein, carbs, and fats, so that allows your body to lose weight, to burn body fat. So here are some simple takeaways that you can start implementing this week to see how you feel and what happens. This is how I start a lot of my challenges that I do, my free challenges, a lot of my programs that I do, and this is what gets women results usually within the first week. So the number one thing, and I know a lot of people don't want to do this, but I suggest tracking your foods for at least a week. Definitely on the weekend, because we all eat differently on the weekend. Reason, just to see, first of all, are you eating enough calories, right? How much protein you're consuming, because protein is super important, and where your carbs are, okay? When you're tracking your foods, this is what I want you to pay attention to. Your protein should always be higher than your carbs, and you should be consuming about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be eating about 150 grams of protein. I like my clients at a minimum of 100. No woman should be below 100 grams of protein. So set that as your minimum and then try to work your way up. So at least 100, okay? So making sure you're getting enough protein, and it should be higher than your carbs. So if you're eating 150 grams of carbs throughout your day, you want to make sure that you're not eating 100 or 200 grams of carbohydrates. I said that wrong. Protein and carbohydrates. Even if you look at your individual meals, you should be looking at, okay, meal 1, my protein should be equal to my carbohydrates or more, not carbohydrates more. What this does is this keeps your blood sugar from spiking, because when your blood sugar spikes, it causes sugar cravings and it causes your weight to go up, right? And that's what we want to avoid. If you're not sure how many calories you should be eating, here's a quick average way to determine that. So I say average because it can be different. It's different because of height, weight, things like that. But here's a good rule of thumb that can help you kind of get an idea of where you should be eating. And it all depends on like your lifestyle, your hormones, your stress. You may need a little bit more, you may need a little bit less. It depends. this is what I do with my clients. I help them to determine what that amount is. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your body weight times 12. That will get you probably close to what your maintenance calories should be. Your maintenance calories are the amount of calories that you can eat without gaining or losing weight within a pound or two, because that's just normal. This is where you should start. So if you are tracking, let's say you're tracking your foods and you took that body weight times 12 and you're consuming way less than that, you need to get up to that maintenance calories. If you're not eating enough, remember, it stalls your metabolism, and actually it's going to cause more hormonal issues, especially if you're in your perimenopause and menopausal years. So you have to make sure you're eating enough food. So that is definitely something. Don't go by the numbers that they give you in those trackers, because they are incorrect. Don't follow the amounts of macros that's set for you, because those are incorrect. But pay attention to what yours look like, and then pay attention. Make sure you're eating more protein than carbohydrates. Make sure that you're eating enough protein and enough calories. The next thing is you want to cut out inflammatory foods for about 3 weeks. And for some people, they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard. It's really not that hard, because there's so many yummy foods you can eat. 3 weeks. I'm not telling you have to do it forever, but I'm telling you 3 weeks. The reason behind this is if your body is more susceptible to inflammation as you age because of your hormones dropping. So if you have constant inflammation going on, you're never going to lose weight. You're going to hold on to weight. You're going to feel awful. I mean, so many things. So cutting out these inflammatory foods is going to give your body the ability to feel good. It's going to help to balance out those hormones a little bit, right? So that means cutting out wheat, gluten, dairy, sugar, alcohol, if you can. Then what you want to do is slowly add them back one at a time to see how your body responds. So you don't want to give them all up and eat them all again, because maybe you can do dairy and be fine, right? Maybe you can do a little bit of gluten and feel fine. But you want to pay attention to how your body responds. It is going to tell you if this food you are consuming is serving your body or not. So if you, let's say you added back in some dairy, so you're eating some cottage cheese and you gave it up for 3 weeks. If you feel bloated, if you have digestive issues, if you have low energy or cravings, then it's probably not something you should be consuming. So take it back out, try something different. If you feel great, awesome. You can keep enjoying it. But my rule of thumb is you should never overindulge on inflammatory foods, because they're inflammatory. They're going to cause inflammation in your body no matter what, especially if you're in your perimenopausal, menopausal years, because your body's already susceptible to inflammation because of those dropping hormones. So try not to consume a ton of them, but it's okay to add them back in every once in a while. Just realize that maybe you might not feel so good if you eat them, but then get back on track where you need to be. Another rule, or another thing, another tip to start here is always, always, always fill your plate with protein first, then your vegetables, then your fats, and then your starchy carbs, okay? So I know that veggies are carbs, but veggies are really good for your hormones. They help to reduce your estrogen dominance, and they help to draw out all the extra hormones that are floating through your body and remove them from your body. So you can eat as many vegetables as you want, but I want protein, tons of vegetables, then some fats. A good rule of thumb for fats is your thumb, good rule of thumb. And then the carbohydrates. So you want to limit your starches. And again, this is because your body is more resistant to starches as you age. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You can't consume tons and tons of starches if you want to lose weight and feel good. So my tip is to limit starches to 1/2 of a cup per serving at only 2 meals. Okay? So that means if you want to have your rice or your pasta, I would have it at lunch and at dinner, or breakfast and at lunch, not all 3 meals. And snacks should not be consisting of starchy carbs. So potato chips, sorry. Bread, sorry. That shouldn't be something that you should be snacking on. It should always be a protein. And if you can add those starches, so that's rice, pasta, quinoa, potatoes, things like that, around your workouts, your body's going to use those for energy. It's going to use those for fuel to burn, right? We want to burn those starches off. We want to burn those carbohydrates off so that they don't store in our body as fat. So if you're doing them right around your workouts, that's going to help you to keep from gaining weight. Eat 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. So remember, I talked about that earlier. If you missed that, you can go back and listen. Eat 1 to 2 cups of vegetables 2 to 3 times a day. So I always am like 2 cups of spinach in my smoothie. I always have a cup of some type of vegetables at lunch and dinner. So I'm definitely getting a lot of my fiber. If you eat your protein, so if you eat enough protein, like you should be doing, about 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, that's going to help to satiate you so you don't overindulge. And if you hit your calorie goal and you eat your vegetables, you're going to see weight loss happen. And you're not going to overindulge on the potatoes, the pasta, the bread. When you sit down to eat your meal, focus on the protein and the vegetables first, and then eat the rest of the food. It's not like you need to eat it all first, but start there. Again, that's going to help keep those blood sugar levels even. It's going to keep you from craving and wanting more food. It's going to make you feel more full, so you don't eat a lot of the foods that you shouldn't be consuming in high amounts. And then listen to your body. If it ever, with your nutrition, if you have bloating, if you're tired, if you have cravings, if you're hungry, if you're moody, something is off. That means you need to stop and pay attention. Listen to it. Go back to the things that I talked about. Check them off. See which things you need to think about or maybe try differently, right? If your body does not feel good, you are not doing something correctly. So you just have to figure out what that is. So start with those things. Right? And within 5 to 7 days, I promise that you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be sleeping better. You're going to have better mental clarity, better focus. You're going to get more done, be more productive. And you may even notice that those pants are getting more loose. And here's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Day after day, week after week, month after month. And you will see changes in your body. You will feel better. You will balance your hormones by what you're providing your body with nutrients because it needs food. Okay? If you try to do perfect, you're going to fail. And then you're going to give up. So don't focus on perfection. Focus on, you know what, if I do 80% today and every single day, I'm doing well. And there's no messing up. I tell my clients all the time, you didn't mess up. You just learned something, right? And it's good for us to learn because then we know how to move forward from that. So I would love it if you would post in the comments your biggest takeaway from this training or something that you learned, something that was new or something that you're going to try. Biggest takeaway, pop that in the comments for me. I would love that because I'd love to see exactly, what you're getting out of this. And I want to let you in on a little secret. I am going to be pulling out my 14-day menopause boot camp in just a few weeks. I've only done this once before, and it was amazing. I delivered so much value. I wanted it to be something that women walked away with, feeling like they were in control of their life again. They knew exactly what they needed to do to feel good in their body. And the clients in just 14 days, got amazing results. They were sleeping better. Their digestion was better. I had someone who lost 9 pounds in the first week, so I know that it can help you if that's something that you're looking for. So if you want more details on that, I'll be talking about that a little bit more as I go throughout the week, but if you want more details about that, comment boot camp below, and I will reach out and I will let you know what it's all about, when we're going to start it, and all the good things about that. So hopefully you got something great out of this training. This is the number one thing that I focus that I think that is going to move the needle the most when it comes to menopausal weight loss resistance is that nutrition. It's just our bodies are struggling and going through so much as our hormones are dropping that when you get the right nutrition for your body, for what it needs right now, I promise that you're going to feel better and you're going to see that weight loss start to drop off. So thanks again for joining me. I appreciate you all so much. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about muscle mass, or muscle loss and metabolism, and why weight training matters in menopause. So thanks for joining me, and until tomorrow, goodbye.